are here and we are about as close to the floor as we can be without really being on the floor.
We had to get creative. We have a futon in the office. I'm like, what are we going to do with this futon? Well, you know what? It came in handy today. We are so happy.
And we are so excited because this is the first time that we get to work with this really amazing brand. How many of you have heard of Tiny Love?
Me. I'm pretty sure I had a bunch of products, actually. A lot of play mats and all kinds of things.
I definitely had a play mat for my girls. I certainly 100% had their play mat.
Yeah.
For tummy time, I did too. Their stuff was always, it'd been around for a pretty long time. Their stuff is always visually pleasing. My girls always really loved it. It was
a lot of first timers just hearing about it. Well, you guys, so I do want to say you definitely need to check them out and also visit their website, especially if you do get a product or add it to your registry, because there's a lot of cool informational tips on their website about how to engage with your child. Play is very, very important. It's one of those things you need to do with your baby, as soon as possible to really get them engaged. And, it's great for their brain to show them different play. And I remember with my first baby thinking, okay, I'm supposed to play with this baby. What do I do?
Right.
They just kind of lay there.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. You just talk to them and all of that. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later. We have a really amazing
guest that's coming on to talk to us all about it and to answer your questions, because remember, we are moms. We are not experts. We are moms. So we know a little bit. I mean, we know about as much as y'all know, and we know from just our experiences per se, and what we've kind of been through, but we don't know what an expert knows. So we wanted to definitely bring in an expert. So like Sam was saying, definitely visit I was so impressed by the Tiny Love website. Mm-hmm. I spent a good hour on the Tiny Love website, just going through all of their information. Not only did they have a plethora of information about learning and development and everything that you need to know through milestones from birth all the way through, I think it was like 5, maybe 4 or 5, I don't even remember, just through the years, and then just all the milestones that they should be hitting and where they should be in different stages, all of their panel of experts that they have and that they bring in to design and to help them with all of these amazing and beautiful, can I say, they just launched this beautiful boho chic collection. It's so stinking
I think
cute.
It's so perfect, because I was thinking about this earlier. I feel like a lot of baby showers are boho chic right now. Yeah. So, when you throw a party, you get all things geared towards your decorations, mm-hmm. and they're like, oh, well, this must be her style. So I think this is amazing, because if you're a boho chic kind of mama, this is definitely geared towards your style.
And you've got that crinkle, it's that really pretty, just so beautiful, those really nice colors. And this is all super important. And we're going to dive into why these patterns are really, really amazing for their eyes and for development. I actually read all about that on the website, and that's all in there. But I learned a lot about the 7 developmental wonders.
Oh, tell me about those, Juliana.
So, gosh, I learned so much.
So all their products are made surrounding these wonders, right?
So I learned a lot. Like I said, I legit spent about an hour on that website, just kind of diving through and learning about everything. I wanted to kind of when somebody comes on to our show and they're like, hey, talk about my brand, and I really want to get to know the brand and I want to be able to represent them well. And I mean, I've had these things and I'm a mom and I know what's important and I know things like, about development and, I've been a mom and things like that. But again, I'm not an expert. So I was like, well, let me refresh because it's been a while since I've had a baby. Yeah. And it's been, but then I went in and I got into these 7 developmental wonders. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are like things that, yes, like so important. And then you like look at all of these beautiful, not only are they visually pleasing. So you guys
can see it a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, look, and Alicia's on here. And Alicia was actually in the Tiny Love booth a lot over the past 3 days answering questions. So one of the first developmental wonders that Tiny Love talks about is cognition. So cognition is really important. So cognitive skills it's the mental process. So it's basically the way that we process things in which we understand the world. So like when a baby comes into the world, it's like how it's how we process things. So like when a baby, and you lay the baby down for the first time and you lay them on the play mat and they see this silly little, they don't know this is a sloth. They have no idea what this is.
Her name's Janice. I was like, I'll know their names. I was hoping you wouldn't find it. So
Janice.
Janice.
So she, the baby doesn't know this is Janice. And he or she doesn't know that this is a sloth. But he or she is going to soon understand that.
So look how cute. Cognition. So Janice does something really cool. So it's very important to know that Janice can turn on and off. So you could turn Janice on and she makes cute little sounds. So after a while of just hanging there, she won't make a sound.
Yes, but you can detach the toys.
If the baby hits Janice, she'll start singing to you.
Aw, Janice.
Isn't she and she is the softest.
She really is super cute. She's so cute. She's adorable.
Well, that's Janice.
Well, okay, I love Janice. I love Janice. So number 2 comes into language and communication. So obviously language and the other forms of communication. Sorry, I wrote down notes because I knew I wasn't going to be able to memorize all this because like no way can I do that with my mom brain. So language and communication obviously are forms of which enable us to share our ideas and thoughts and feelings. So when babies are born, how do they communicate? I mean, we all know how babies communicate.
Just they're crying and cooing and, their facial expressions.
So they meet, what's his name?
His name is Mark. I'm pretty sure it's Mark, the koala.
Love Janice.
But Mark is adorable.
Oh, and look, he's got like a little, he's so precious.
I know he's a he and she's a she, but I'm pretty sure it's Mark, but now I forget.
So so perhaps baby sees Mark and he's like, and that's like that's how he or she is expressing themselves.
Yeah. And one thing I learned too, as far as play with infants, is just talk to them. It is actually
Mark.
Oh, it is Mark. Okay, good.
Oh no, she said, is it Mark is the sloth. Janice is the koala. You got them backwards.
I'm sorry.
Sam. We're sorry.
So this is Mark.
Mark is the sloth.
And this is Janice.
Oh,
darn it. I am sorry. But anyway, so just talking to your baby with everything you do. So I've read, when my baby was born, I would be like, okay, I'm walking to the kitchen, I'm getting a glass of water, and you just continue to talk, because a lot of the times it's just you and the baby at home.
Yeah.
And sometimes that baby just needs to hear its mama's voice. So these little characters are great to say little stories. You can make up whatever you want. They could be terrible stories. It's okay. Your baby doesn't know.
Yeah.
Your baby's just happy to hear your voice and hear your pitch go up and down.
And these little patterns, let's say that Janice has on her ear, these are really, really great for development of the eyes and you'll learn. We'll probably talk more later on about these little patterns and the way
and they made their eyes specifically very large, so it's easy for newborns to focus on, which is really cool.
Oh, little Janice.
And all kinds of different textures too, so the baby can feel the ears, and there's just different little patterns, and like she has a rattle in her head, and then her body is super soft. So yeah, it's amazing how different patterns and textures and sounds in each of their toys.
That's so cute. Love it. So then you go into fine motor skills, and fine motor skills are so important because that's like, when you think about fine motor skills start at such a young age. And so you think about something that's hanging, and when baby starts gripping, and they start to kind of try to grab something, and you see them trying to go for it, and they're like, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to get this.
I love when you see that
progresses.
And
it's that progression of those fine motor skills, which progress into, when they start going to school and holding pencils, and it's getting those things that really, and it's so important to start that at a young age, because when you do get into, let's say, preschool, those fine motor skills of even just holding crayons, or, you'll see them trying to grab them like this, but you want them to really, really master those fine motor skills. And all of that is getting that foundation at this young age. So that's the third one, is the fine motor skills. It's related to the hand, the palm, the finger skills, as well as the muscles surrounding the eyes and the mouth, actually. So it's not just your hands, it's also your mouth and your eyes, which I think have a lot to do with probably if you're feeding. So a lot of like what maybe Dawn talked about yesterday with feeding, and maybe like the sip, using the cup, and that's all fine motor skills, the cup to your mouth, and all of, the using your hand and your palm to bring to your eye to focus on that.
And it's incredible because it's like, you think that you're just keeping your baby alive during the day, but you're playing with them, you're feeding them, and all those little things that you're doing for your baby is learning so much. So just because like you just went through the daily process and you put the baby on her mat, or you fed the baby, that whole time that you have that baby, the baby is learning, and they're learning from you, and you're doing an awesome job.
Absolutely. And then you've got your senses, and it's like our 5 senses, and it's surrounding the processes and through our cognitive skills, our senses,
hearing,
our touch and everything. It's all of our senses. And we've got our gross motor skills, and it's everything related to those less delicate functions, such as the sitting and the crawling and walking. So that gets more into it, and
getting into that always starts with tummy time, right?
Yes.
So like
the dreaded tummy time. I remember when we first started tummy time, my kids hated it. Remember that first time you put them on their tummy, and they're like, "Oh, I hate this. Why are you torturing me?"
I love this mat too, because like for tummy time, it's really great. There's different things for the baby to look at. So you can have a mirror, and you could always take it off the play set and like put it in front of the baby to focus on. And then this leaf is very easy for them to focus on. But underneath, there's some like hidden rainbows for the baby to discover. There's even this cute little tiny love tag.
You remember when they first like finally realize their own self in a mirror, and they're like, who is that person?
They smile. They're like, oh, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Then you've got imagination and creativity.
And that goes back to storytelling with these cute little
absolutely
animals. And then there's some crinkles.
Yeah, and crinkles are great.
Babies love the crinkles.
Yeah, and then we've got the emotional intelligence, social and emotional intelligence. That's a profound influence on future success. And it's the basics of emotional intelligence can help you encourage your child's emotional development and create a healthy basis. So with that being said, all of these amazing things are going to bring us into probably bringing in our expert
Well, let's talk about, we have two more.
Oh yeah, we have amazing
to talk about, but also, okay, so besides the website having a lot of amazing information, so does their packaging, which is like full with, it goes into detail about everything that is part of this product and what you can use it for. I thought this was super cool that they included every month. They have these little milestone cards. So you could lay baby down and take a picture. So today my baby is 1 month old. And then you could flip it over and it tells you different ways to play with your baby, how they're developing. Their vision is still developing at this time. So the sloth and koala's eyes are contrasting. So it tells you all different ways to play with the babies and what they should be doing at that time. And then you go to 2 months and you keep going every month. When you take that picture, you could find out, you know, where your baby should be at this point and how you could play with them differently, which I think is
and
super
remember,
cool.
These are all guides. These are all guides. So, you know, just guidelines.
Yes, Tiny Love does say, remember, there's no such thing as a right answer.
Correct.
So if your baby decides to, you know, play with the mirror differently, so instead of looking at herself or himself, they decide to chew on it or lick it or crinkle it up. That's okay. That's how they're playing. Yeah. And you just encourage that.
Let's bring the little bouncer up here too. Let's show this other product over here.
All right, so this bouncer, here, let me move this really quickly.
So they've also got this great little bouncer. Can everybody see it?
All right, who knows the baby's name? If you know the baby's name, you get a bonus point.
So this is a great little bouncer, little rocker. So this is a 2-in-1 rocker. It's got 2 different modes, rocker and stationary chair. It's easily foldable. It's got Janice, our little friend Janice on here. It's got a nice little harness for baby's safety.
And here's how you can recline. So there's 3 different positions and it's just one hand. I'm in a weird position, but it goes down 3. There you go. So that's 1. Or you could go up to 2 or all the way up to 3. And then it also folds flat. So you could take it wherever you want. This product was a lifesaver. I would always have one of these in the bathroom. I would take it to the kitchen.
Because no battery needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could fold it. You could take it to grandma's. You can just it's so easy.
And when the baby starts moving around, they start like bouncing themselves. So they start moving their legs and arms and they're like,
And this is also part of their new boho chic collection. And it all matches, which is super cute, all gender neutral. And then you've got that really beautiful mobile behind Sam.
And Janice is here, right? That's Janice.
That's Janice the koala. She's so cute.
All right.
You got this
I was able to put it on our table, so I was so happy about that. So here's a beautiful mobile that they have.
Oh, and you got all these fun little characters on there.
Oh, you have a cute little bird.
Toucan.
I wonder what the little bird's name is. It's so cute. Here, I'll turn this on so you all can see. So it has this beautiful pattern up here. It spins around. You could also stop it from spinning up top, but I like the spinning motion. There are all kinds of different sounds. I want to say there's like 17 sounds on here. And you can do the shushing, which is anytime a baby is very like overstimulated, shushing is really, really good. Oh, David. This is David, everybody. That is so cool.
So we've got Mark, David, and Janice.
Who's your favorite? I kind of am liking David right now.
You know,
so cute.
I don't know. I really love Janice. I'm kind of a Janice fan. I like her name. I like her style.
And then you got all three of them
but
together.
I think they're all super adorable.
Aren't they?
I don't know.
They're so cute.
It's kind of difficult to pick a favorite.
So then the shushing sound.
Janice is my favorite.
Yeah, tell us who your favorite is.
I want to text Rachel and just have her. She's not on the queue right now.
Okay. And then there's white sounds too. So you could choose which one you like.
You've got these beautiful leaves on here, which are so pretty. I mean, this is so pretty. So pretty. You really don't need anything more. And I really like how Mark just kind of, when he hangs, he almost hangs down, that he's looking down. So it's almost like he's like...
Yeah, they have the big eyes again. Yeah. So they're looking down at baby, which is cool, which is really great.
Yeah. So we've talked about all these amazing products. Great products. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful products.
So we are going to have an expert come in just a minute. She's trying to click in to come in. So we're going to answer any questions in the meantime that you guys might have. I know if you guys are interested in adding this to your registry, if you go to their booth, you could add this straight from Baby List onto your registry. Here she is.
Okay, perfect. So we want to introduce an amazing, amazing person. Her name is Rachel White. She's an occupational therapist who works with pediatrics. And she's actually an occupational therapist here in Orlando for Advent Health. And she's here to answer questions because remember, not everything is black and white. So she is here to answer some questions. So we're going to bring Rachel in.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are so, so happy to have you. And our moms are so... we're so excited to have you here to be able to be the expert because we are, like we said, we are not the experts. We are just the moms.
I like to tell you what to do, but
we are just the ones that, we've kind of can just tell you what our experiences are. Certainly not the experts when it comes to any of this. So we wanted to we love the products that Tiny Love has and how they've been able to create some of these great developmental from zero and beyond, and kind of use this for their 7 developmental wonders, like through cognition, language and communication, the senses, gross motor skills, fine motor skills. So we certainly wanted to bring in an expert who can kind of explain more and dive more into it, because I can certainly go on the website and so can everyone else and kind of just read about it and blab about it, but definitely wanted to bring in someone that had that expertness.
Yes. Well, thank you again. I'm very, very excited. I first would like to say I love all of the animals in the names. So cute. And I love the colors too. They're very, very, very nice. But I wanted to start off, if it's okay, if I could just kind of explain like the therapy role. Because I feel like some people are like, what's therapy? What age does that start? Kind of what is that? So I kind of wanted to talk about my role in it just for a second, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
So as a parent, you're going to definitely have those check-ins with your pediatricians and your doctors, and they're going to kind of go through with you too and make sure that you're meeting all those milestones. If for some reason something comes up, that's when they would refer them out. So I am an occupational therapist. So one of those 7 wonders you talked about, all those fine motor skills, that is my expertise. That is where I'm at. That is my go-to. All of those communication things, that's going to be more of like a speech therapist. All of those crawling, sitting, walking, all of those types of milestones are going to be more of a physical therapist. And then you also have feeding therapists as well. So there's a lot there that we can do. But I am an occupational therapist and would love to answer any questions that you guys have, processes, anything that you guys have for sure.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit. So I know, so you were saying, I know, we have a lot of first-time moms, let's just say. So one of the great things that Sam was kind of talking about were these fun little cards that Tiny Love includes in their with their gym, with their play mat, which is basically like, oh, it's, today I'm 8 months or what, and it kind of just says, here are some of the typical milestones that your baby should be meeting. So let's just say, when you're visiting your pediatrician and you're not necessarily, what happens if you're not meeting some of those milestones, or what are some of the milestones that perhaps you should be meeting at different stages? Yeah, for sure. So those cards are excellent because, number one, no one's going to remember every month, week, what you should be at. So those cards are really, really awesome as far as like where you should be. I can go over some of like the very big ones, basic ones. So around like 2 to 3 months, you want to see the baby starting to grasp things. So maybe you're putting things in their hand and they're holding on to it. Even going back a little bit earlier. Yes. And I like the one too, that where you hit it, it makes sound. Because then that's going to encourage your child more to hit that and make that sound again. So that's very, very encouraging. And even when they're little too, you guys have on the crinkle toys, those are really, really great. Also with that high contrast, that black and white is awesome. Their eyes are still developing. So that high contrast is what they're going to go to. That's what they're going to see. That is awesome. The crinkle paper too is really good when they're little. Because too, when they're little, even how you mentioned the sensory system, they're still developing. So at 1 and 2 months old, even bubbles is a little bit overstimulating for a child. And you may not think that, but even something like bubbles. Also, when they're really little, they're going to love your face. So as you were saying, talking to them, they're going to love to look at faces. They love that. So around 3 to 4 months, that's when you want to start to see that reaching, that grasping, all of those types of things. And then around 6 months, that's when they should start sitting up. They're starting to kind of transition themselves to sit up and start to play sitting up. Okay. And then typically around 8-9 months, you'll notice they start to finger feed themselves. Now we're starting solid food. So they're starting to pick up and eat themselves. And then as you keep going along, they're going to start to play with toys functionally. Cause and effect. I do this, this happens. So those are kind of like some basic ones. And then around 1 year, so anywhere between 12 and 15 months, that's also when they start walking. So that's a big thing too. But in that first year, we go from laying down to we're starting to walk. So there's a lot that happens in that first year, and it definitely happens quickly. So those cards are going to be awesome, especially for first-time mothers for sure. Absolutely. So like, let's say, there we go. So let's say you have these cards and maybe you're like, oh my gosh, you're reading the card and you're like, oh, my baby's not doing this. Do I freak out? Do I call the pediatrician right away?
So Google. No, you don't Google.
Definitely don't Google. First and foremost, I would say take a deep breath. Their guidelines, babies all develop. That's why they'll say like 12 to 15 months. They're going to develop on their own time. So you want to maybe give it a little bit, but definitely reach out to your doctor. I would say first and foremost, go to your doctor. So if they're 5 months and they're not grasping yet, then we might take a look at something. But if grasping starts at 2 and we're at 3 and it's emerging, but we're not quite there yet, you might want to give it some time. But it's never going to hurt for you to go ahead, call your doctor, make an appointment just to double check. If it's we're 2 months and we're not doing this, no, definitely don't panic. just kind of give it a little bit of time.
So what do you recommend with the dreaded tummy time? I know tummy time is one thing that first of all, should they start with tummy time? And what if your baby just completely despises tummy time? What do you recommend?
Yes, for sure. So tummy time is that big thing that a lot of babies are like, nope, not liking this. But here's how I'm going to explain it. So tummy time is very good. It's actually very good for their sleep routine because they need to get tired out. We need to be on that sleep routine so that they sleep better and everything is great. So tummy time is very, very, very important. So what I would recommend doing is when they're on tummy time, kind of wait it out. Wait, maybe they start to fuss a little bit. Give it about 10, 15 seconds. See if they'll start to calm on their own. That also leads to another skill of self-calming, which is very, very important. So maybe put them in tummy time, wait them out a little bit, wait like 5 to 10, 15 seconds. And then if they don't calm, go ahead, flip them back over, give them a break, and then try again. That ability to self-calm as well is very important. As first-time moms, we just want to rescue. I'm going to go to you right away and rescue you when you start to cry. Let them cry a little bit, just a little bit, and then flip them back over, give them a break, and then try again.
What age do you start tummy time? Right away?
I would probably take a look at the baby, how they're doing, but probably anywhere between 1 and 2 months. Yeah, for sure. You want to start tummy time as early as you can.
And we have a mama here asking about baby massage.
Yes, baby massage is awesome. And I would definitely recommend to do this as part of your sleep routine. Definitely like maybe right after bath time, around that time. That is a great time to do massage.
I would her up and just start massaging her fat little legs and her
Even during tummy time, just to let them know that you're there and rub their little legs.
I would like get her all lubed up with lotion and I just start rubbing on her.
Like, I wish this was me.
Absolutely. Massage has so many benefits.
Like give her like back rubs.
Yeah. And again, their sensory system is developing. So eventually as they're learning new skills, we have to start with hand over hand to help them. So even just by giving them massages, you're actually what we call desensitizing them, which means getting them used to touch. So that's another benefit from that as well.
And she's asking, but what age do you start with baby massage? You can start massaging your baby right away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a time frame on that.
I feel like touch is very important, and I think it's something that you can do, right when the baby's here and breastfeeding.
Even when you're laying them on the mat and they're kind of doing their playtime on the Tiny Love mat and you have them down there and you just kind of massaging their little feet and interacting with them and talking to them and, doing that kind of one-on-one talk and just kind of, because that touch and that feel and that communication, I think that, I would say that you'd start that right away.
Absolutely. Another benefit of that too is when you're doing massage for your baby, they're actually getting input to their joints. That's another sensory system that we have. It's called proprioceptive input. It's knowing where your body is in space. So you're actually helping them with that as well.
Interesting. That's great to know.
Yeah.
What questions do we have in there?
I have a question with how do you know if your baby's overstimulated? So say you're playing with your baby and, you're trying to rattle toys in their face and you're trying to do all this and they're just like fussy. Are they overstimulated? Do they not like something? And if they are overstimulated, what can you do to kind of calm the baby, relax the baby?
Definitely. So when they're very, very little, they have a reflex. It's called a moral reflex. So it almost looks like a startle. And I'm sure you guys seen that. So that takes just a little bit to start to integrate. So you'll see that startle at first. That's very normal. But after a little bit, when your baby's overstimulated, you may see that startle. You may also see squinting of the eyes, turning the head away. Those are some body signs that your baby may be overstimulated. And at that point, the only thing you can change is the environment. So I love to give the examples of bubbles. When you blow a bubble at a kid, if they're overstimulated, they're going to back away. They might clench their fists. Those are some things you might see. But if they're not overstimulated, they're going to go towards the bubbles and try to reach and pop them. So if they're overstimulated, you want to back off, maybe stop the bubbles, maybe play some calming music, try to calm the baby back down.
Yeah, that's what I like about this one. The mobile has the shushing sound, and one thing I've read a lot is, to calm your baby, do shh, shh is like the shushing and the suckling with the pacifier and the swaddling and just anything to kind of hold your baby and eliminate all the
noise is playing right now. I'm just like, I'm like right now. I'm just like so calm. It's like, ooh.
So all of these things that you guys are saying, rhythmic sounds are very calming. Rhythmic motions, so that sucking of the pacifier is going to be very calming for your baby. That white noise, that type of sound is going to be very, very calming for the baby, and it's going to help them to regulate. So yeah, definitely those are all really, really great because that's what your baby's using to calm themselves.
Is there like a time? So like, let's say I'm putting my baby down on the play mat for the first time, is there like a specific amount of time, should it just be like in the beginning, like 10 minutes, or is it just go by how long you don't necessarily, I don't want them to be overstimulated. Is there like a guideline when it comes to that? Like how long you should do that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you mean on their back or on their belly?
So on their back.
So on their back. And you would say if they're overstimulated?
So just like, let's say I'm putting them on a play mat, on like the play mat for them to look at the toys and just kind of, look around. Is there like a time limit that you should kind of keep them at, or is there something you should, is there a guideline
or
to
even
that?
like a guideline about like how long you should play with your baby a day? Like, like reading for 30 minutes every day. Is there a guideline where, you should be playing with the baby and showing them different things for a certain amount of time a day? Is there
definitely? So something that I want to recommend is, again, going back to that schedule. You want to have your child on a schedule for sure. When they're really little, I would maybe do about 10, 15 minutes, maybe give them a break. And then you want to slowly add on to that as much as they can tolerate. And again, every baby's going to be a little different. One baby might tolerate tummy time, no problem. And the other one may only do five seconds and not like it and want to take a break. But then at that point, you would slowly add on time to that baby until they get used to it, for sure. So every baby is going to be a little bit different. But what I would recommend is kind of time your baby and then slowly increase that as you go along daily, if that kind of helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not like a 5 minute, 10 minute.
Is occupational therapy usually covered by insurance? Like, let's say it's something that is needed. Like, let's say my child is not meeting milestones and my pediatrician recommends some form of occupational therapy. Is that something that's usually covered by most insurances?
Yes, absolutely. So most Medicaid, private insurances, all of those are going to cover OT. Definitely always double check your exclusions. Sometimes I've seen specific codes are not covered. So that's something you definitely want to take a look at when you are getting your insurance. You might want to make sure that therapy is included in all of those things. And if there are exclusions, what codes are there? Because your doctor is going to write a referral, and with your referral, there's going to be a code attached to that. And if your insurance doesn't cover that code, okay, then we're going to have to go back, have the doctor do a new code, and that just takes time away from the process and getting therapy started with the baby.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's always good to know those ahead of time.
I mean,
yeah, definitely. But to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, the insurance company is going to cover it.
Yeah, especially for kids, I would think.
Exactly. Yeah, especially for kids. And All we need is the doctor's referral, and that's normally enough to go ahead and get started.
Well, ladies, Rachel, thank you so much for your expertise and all of your amazing information and for helping us, because like I said, we could blab about all these things, but it's always nice to have an expert on here to be able to really guide us and to help us guide the moms in the right direction when it comes to these amazing products and why they need to make sure that they add these amazing toys and developmental products to their registries, and how often they should be using them with their babies and why they should be using them with their babies, and how important it is to use them with their babies, and the importance of play and the importance of communication and that importance of development and learning with their new ones, because it is so important.
Absolutely. And it's those building blocks and those steps to even get them to later on do all those things, brushing their teeth, brushing their hair, getting dressed. It's all important.
And it all starts from right at the beginning. That
day one.
Play mat and that tummy time. That dreaded tummy time.
Both of my kids are very good at like playing by themselves, which I love. So maybe I did a good job playing with them at the beginning, showing them how to like entertain themselves with toys. I don't know, but I do feel like play is really important. It's a stress reliever. It's good for the parents. It's good for, the baby and
absolutely
all of that.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your time, and thanks for providing the amazing education for our moms.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna take a little bit of time and talk a little bit more about these amazing products and answer any more questions. Does anyone have any more questions for Rachel
ladies
before we say goodbye to her? Let's see if we have any last minute questions. I think
we're
so.
Good.
All right, Rachel. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Take care.
You. We will see you guys soon. Bye. All right. Well, we want to say a big thank you to Rachel. Again, she's an occupational therapist out of Advent Health for Children. We do appreciate her expertise. Again, Tiny Love, boho chic, new collection.
If you guys have any questions, let us know, because
I know we have Alicia here answering questions about their collection, all of their amazing new products. She has been in her booth for the past couple of days. I hope you have added her stuff to your registry. I hope you've added this collection because
it's so cute.
It is so cute. Sam, tell us a little bit about how much some of this stuff retails for.
Sure. So the play mat, the Gem Mini, is it retails for $9.99, which I think is incredible.
$9.99.
Or sorry, $99.99. So around $100. Not $9.99. It's very beautiful. It's made really well. The padding for like the mat itself is super plush and soft. Should I bring it back up?
Yeah. We got a couple more minutes before the prize giveaways. Let's bring this beauty back up here. So pretty.
Janice is no. Mark is singing.
Mark is singing. So yes, this pattern, if you can kind of see.
So if you had like wood floors or tile floors,
pretty.
Yeah, it's very plush.
Nice and plush.
And it's kind of like very furniture-like.
It
so,
is, yeah.
You know when you walk into somebody's house and there's like all of these colors all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. It's
very
beautiful and pretty to look at. It's easy to fold up. That's what I like about all of these. I'm going to turn this sound off so you can hear us. But that's what I like about all of this. Mm-hmm. The rocker folds up super easily if you need. It's compact, so if you need to travel with it,
so these are like interchangeable
take it to grandma's.
So if you want to take this one off and put the flower, I know some of you were loving this flower, and you want to put the flower on. You can
take your little buddies on your stroller rides. You could do that too.
What happened to, oh, here he is. Or here she is.
Janice.
Janice!
Everyone's favorite, Janice.
And Janice goes on here, and she kind of just goes like right over here on the side. She kind of just like sticks to the side over here.
We have this big leaf, which when the babies start kicking.
So she's beautiful. So she retails at $99.99. Make sure you add her to your registry. I think it's a great price point where definitely friends could gift her to you for baby, for your baby shower, grandma, somebody, anybody. I think it's a great price point. Definitely a really, really nice baby shower gift. It's beautiful.
I loved, when you start playing with your baby and breaking out all the new toys. I thought that was really fun.
Absolutely. Flower is included. Yeah, flower is included. So definitely beautiful. Make sure you add it to your registry. We love that one. And then, of course, we have the wonderful, that 2-in-1 rocker, y'all, I think no batteries. That is I think my number one favorite thing is that it doesn't need batteries.
Let me lift it. So one thing to know is never pull by this little mobile thing because it is removable. So if you do feel like your baby's overstimulated or they don't want it, or you're just traveling to grandma's house and you want to bring something less,
you can just collapse.
You could just remove this. You can collapse it. Remember, it has the 3 different inclines. So if baby is sleeping and you want to lay them a little bit further down, you could put them on the one setting. And then, if you're eating dinner or breakfast and the baby's right next to you, you could set them up a little bit more. You also can, I didn't say this earlier, but you could unzip this entire thing and wash it, which is really good. Perfect. Because babies spit up.
It's a nice neutral color, beautiful pattern.
And then it has the little clips right here. So the 3-point harness to make sure that the baby doesn't fall out. You can adjust
it. 2-point harness.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So you have that harnessed right there for safety. And then should I show them how it collapses?
Sure. I'll take Willie.
Take our beautiful child. We have 2 children here in the office. And then this collapses really nicely. I'll have to put it on the floor to do it, not on my lap. But it goes super flat. So you could store this pretty much anywhere.
Nice
under the crib, in your closet, wherever you want to store it. Put it in the car, take it to grandma's house. It's super easy for grandma. This is just one retail one hand. I'm not sure. I don't want to say the price now.
Alicia.
Alicia. Oh, around, I think 100. But I could be wrong. I know the mobile is around $49.99.
I love the mobile too. The mobile's so cute.
And again, it does have a timer on it. So if you want the sounds for nap time, the
rocker does have a weight limit, 20 pounds. And baby must be able to sit up unassisted.
And then once they are sitting up, then
game on, friends.
Fold it and you put it in your closet for baby number 2.
$119.99. Thank you, Alicia.
Awesome. And then, so this mobile has, if you're putting your baby down, if you just want to do the shushing for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
must not be able to sit up. Sorry, that's right.
Yes, obviously. Cannot sit up.
Yeah. Yep. I said can be able to sit up.
Cannot.
Sorry, guys. Obviously cannot sit up unassisted, because if they can, then they're going to be coming out of it.
Mommy!
Y'all, it's the last day of Virtual Prego Expo.
All right. I know. Sorry. We do have to get some stuff ready for the giveaway.
I know.
Happening in just a minute.
But we want to thank Tiny Love for allowing us to host this segment and trusting us with their product. entrusting us with their product.
Exactly. And if you guys did not know, we are downloading all of these seminars. We're putting them on a playlist on YouTube, and we will be emailing everybody the playlist. So if you want to watch back and learn again about play and listen to anything that Rachel had to talk about, please do so. Those videos are for you forever and ever and ever.
They are for you. So we are so happy. Thank you, Tiny Love, so much for joining us at this May virtual Prego Expo. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us for the segment. Thank you to Rachel for helping us to help you all. Thank you, Alicia, for answering those questions in the chat. We will be back here in T-minus 7 minutes.
And David says goodbye.
And we are going to be live with our end of the show giveaways. Can you believe it's almost over?
Not me.
Almost over, y'all. Almost over. Okay, well, we are going to be signing off. We do need to get ready for giveaways. Thank you, ladies, so much. A big thank you to Tiny Love. And we will be back here in just a couple minutes.
Bye.